Can the current generation Dana44 handle 40-inch tires?
Yes.
Woo!
40-inch tires on an ecodiesel Jeep Rubicon Unlimited. In today's video, we'll go over what it took to get there, some pros and cons, gas mileage information, and we'll address the controversial debate: can we mount 40s on a Dana44 axle? You know this guy, Nate?
Hi.
So what are your thoughts? 40-inch tires on Dana44s.
Well, on Dana44s, it can be done with a lightweight vehicle. With the Event-Tech 44s, I think it's very much noteworthy that there's a massive difference. Like on my TJ, I have a Dana44 from a 76 F-150 that is miles away from what these are. These are like the most efficient axles that have ever been invented as far as the ring and pinions.
Yeah.
It's much less clamping load on the bearings. Like, they're incredible.
Yeah.
And all the bearings and everything are huge for a Dana44. So for these, I think that it's doable with someone that has a really nice light foot.
Okay.
You know, with the diesel torque, with how many speeds you have with the low gears, you can break a 1-ton shaft too on a 40. But with nice light driving, knowing when you can give it that wheel speed or when you need to back off because you're bound up, that is the key between breaking an axle and not breaking an axle.
Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm here at Northridge 4x4 with Tim Lund. He is the guy over here. If you go to their YouTube channel, you'll see him doing all the mods and the works, as well as taking it out on trail. So as you guys seen last week, we have the roof rack, the bumpers installed on the Jeep, as well as the side rails. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna lift it up and put some beefy, nice chunky tires on it, right?
Yep.
But as you know, as I teased it, it's 40s, but with 40s, there's a lot of things that need to be done.
There is quite a bit that we're going to be doing. So first off, we've got that 4.5-inch rock crawler kit, and that's with diesel springs. So it's designed to take the extra weight of your JL and the diesel. Then we also have the Falcon shocks by Terraflex. And then we have those big 40-inch, I think you went with the Coopers, didn't you? The STT Pros?
Yes. I heard they're pretty good in the snow. I mean, they're still, at the end of the day, they're still mud-terrain tires, right?
The STT Pros are one of those tires that have a soft spot in my heart.
Okay.
They work really well in a lot of rocks, mud, snow, dirt. I mean, they're just a great all-around tire.
And are they true 40 inches as far as measurement goes?
We'll find that out once we get them aired up and on the rig. Yeah, we're gonna do baseline measurements. And baseline measurements are really important because you gotta know where you're starting out at. And then once you're done, how much lift did you end up with? And then they're great to have on hand because let's say in 6 months, a year and a half of off-road use, you might find one corner sitting low. Well, then you can just get out your tape measure, do some measurement, compare that against your base measurements. Oh, hey, my right corner is low, or maybe my left front corner is high.
Right. And
you can track down problems. And then you can also know how much, you've thrown a rooftop tent on, you've thrown a full kitchen in the back, all this extra weight. Maybe that 4.5-inch kit isn't 4.5 inches anymore.
So we started off by taking measurements on all 4 corners of the Jeep. This will be compared to the measurements after the installation of the lift and tires. Results will be provided in a future video once the Jeep has wheeled a bit and settled. Then, the current suspension system was removed along with the axle shafts and gearing. This is to accommodate the Rockcrawler 4.5-inch suspension lift, Falcon Terraflex shocks, Yukon Chromoly axle shafts in the rear, RCV axle shafts in the front, and Yukon 513 gearing. Later in the video, I will share what the diesel engine plus the 513 gearing gets for fuel economy and RPMs at 70 miles per hour.
If we take our arm and we look at the bushing, this is rubber bushing that's been vulcanized inside the steel housing, and it's vulcanized to this sleeve right here. And you notice all these edges. This is so when you tighten your bolt, it locks into this. But nothing moves. The only little bit of movement we get is what movement is in this rubber. So if we look at it here, I've got it tight up here. This is how much movement I get out of this. And it's because this rubber, this vulcanized rubber, is stopping us. And then also let's look at our side to side movement. Side to side, I only got, what's that, maybe 15 degrees? And it's because it's just what the flex of the rubber bushing is.
A lot more movement. Actually movement all the way.
So which would you, then let's look at our side to side.
Yeah.
Easily double, if not triple, the amount of flex. So which one would you rather have in your suspension as it's trying to articulate through the rocks? With their bushings, with this being able to spin in here, is that you can do all your torque while it's up in the air. On the factory bushings, you gotta wait till the vehicle's setting on the ground before you torque it down. Either that or you're gonna, let's say if you torque it with your factory arms down, they have very little motion when you're sitting there, so it's gonna be trying to unload your suspension the whole time. So with this, we can torque them down when it's hanging down, and it's no big deal because it'll just move wherever it needs to move. Look at how thin that is.
All right, so these are the stock Rubicon arms, and this is the rock crawler. And that's about, what, 3 or 4 times thicker? About?
Well, but if you look, there's a bottom in there.
Yeah.
This is a solid bar.
All the way through.
That they drill it and tap it to fit the end in.
Jeez. And then this one is hollow all the way down, right?
Yep. You don't have a super sharp line at the bottom, okay, nor a super sharp line at the top. It's a nice feather.
Okay. Now some will ask, why not just upgrade the axles to the 1-tons instead? Well, that's kind of like asking me why don't I buy a Toyota Tundra instead of a Tacoma. There is a substantial cost difference in purchasing the 1-tons that is currently not in my budget range, but we can still beef up the Dana44's that came with the Jeep Rubicon to accommodate the larger tires. Plus, due to the thicker axle housing of the 1-tons, I would lose a little bit of clearance due to the lower position of the differentials on the bigger axle.
I ain't going down, down with you. If you're going downtown, get you someone new. You put me through hell now.
If you got a JL or a JT Taser Mini with the extension cable, absolutely indispensable.
Here are some quick points I'd like to add. There is no absolute need to upgrade tires to 40 inches. Even the stock 33-inch tires that come with the Rubicon should be sufficient for most overlanding trails. I would say that a good tire size to get if you absolutely need to go bigger is 37 to 38 inches. I've got the 40 inches because I am trying to get into some really deep snow with higher clearance, as well as the aesthetic look of the tires. Number 2, with these tires, I added beadlock wheels because I plan to air down to 1 psi on snow with minimal chance of deep beating the tire. Note that this will add a significant amount of weight to the already heavy tire and wheel combo, and this will affect the gas mileage as well as the rate of wear on the parts on the vehicle. More frequent maintenance and checkups are advised, so please keep that in mind. Number 3, gas mileage currently is showing an average of about 17 miles per gallon after the install for the diesel engine at 5.13 gearing, which is 5 miles per gallon less than my average with the stock Rubicon tires. Also, at 70 miles per hour, the gauge shows a little under 2100 RPMs or revolutions per minute. With the stock Rubicon configuration, it was a little under 2000 RPMs at 70 miles per hour. So stay tuned, as next week we take Dusty on a shakedown run at a nearby trail, and I'll report back with additional findings. So subscribe if you haven't done so already. I would like to give a huge thanks to Tim and the Northridge 4x4 crew for the meticulous installation and having Dusty in their garage. All the parts you've seen in the video I was able to acquire through Northridge 4x4, and you should be able to as well. And if you are looking for any discounts, you can try using the code EDWARD to get up to 20% off on selected products. Go knock yourself out. But for now, be safe, take care, and I'll see you next time.
Making the moves, not making no noise. Still keeping up with all of the boys. We want all the secrets, but I'm keeping quiet. Silence is golden, honey. Making